In this video, we will discuss what determines your Social Security benefit payment. My name is Kirby Arcundiff. I have a Ph.D. from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. I'm a chartered financial analyst and a certified financial planner. I'm currently a retirement strategist and portfolio analyst for FEFA and an adjunct professor of accounting and financial management for the University of Maryland Global Campus. One of the calculations that goes into determining an individual's retirement benefit under Social Security is the calculation of average indexed monthly earnings, or AIME. The average indexed monthly earnings is currently the average of the Social Security recipient's top 35 years of income during their lifetime divided by 12. Each of these years of income is indexed by the Consumer Price Index. So for example, if they earned the money in 1980, then that dollar amount is converted using the CPI to its equivalent in 2020 dollars. After this is done, the individual is given credit for each amount of earnings, but rather like the progressive income tax, this credit is based on their earnings in a progressive system where they are given credit of a 90% rate for the first $960 of his or her average index monthly earnings, but then a only 32% credit for his or her average index monthly earnings for between $960 a month and $5,785 per month, and then only a 15% credit for his or her average indexed monthly earnings above $5,785. What that means is after you have made a certain amount of money in your life, earning more will not increase your retirement benefits significantly. After this calculation is made, then one must also determine the full retirement age, and this depends on when you were born. If it is in 1937 or before, your full retirement age is in 65, and this gradually increases to if you were born after 1960, your full retirement age is 67. You receive your primary insurance amount on that full retirement age based on the calculations shown on this page. If you choose to take retirement early or later than your full retirement age, then that will also affect the benefits you receive. In the case of early retirement, a benefit is reduced by 0.5% for each month before normal retirement age up to 36 months. If the number of months exceeds 36, then the benefit is further reduced by 0.5% per month. For example, if the number of the reduction is 60 months, the maximum number for retirement at 62, when normal retirement age is 67, then the benefit will be reduced by 30%. This maximum reduction is calculated as 36 months times 0.5% plus 24 months times 0.5%. Delayed retirement is also possible. This will increase your monthly benefit amount, and the amount of this increase varies, again, depending on when you were born. If you were born from 1917 to 24, you only got a 3% credit per year for delayed retirement. This increases the later your birth date. If you were born after 1943, you get an 8% credit for each year of delaying your retirement. And as they note, persons born on January 1 of any year should refer to the credit percentage for the previous year. At this point, you can delay your retirement up to age 70 and get the maximum retirement amount based on your full retirement age, your PIA, and up to this 8% credit. How do you decide when to take retirement benefits? This is based on a lot of different factors. What is your estimate of the reinvestment rate? If you are choosing between retiring at 62, 67, or 70, then if you retire at 62, the dollars you get can be reinvested in the stock market or another investment. And if you believe that that investment will give a reasonably high rate of return, even the average investment rate in the US stock market, then you may be better to retire as early as possible and invest that money. Other things that can affect your choice of when to take benefits is if you have a financial need and absolutely need the money, if you have a short or long lifespan, and one that we can discuss at FEFA and perhaps give you advice on is the taxation of those benefits. If you have other sources of income, a pension, or particularly money in a qualified account, you might want to take that money out of the qualified account through Roth conversions, increase your tax up to the maximum bracket now, so at a later date you can have a lower tax rate on your retirement benefits and therefore get a higher after-tax benefit on Social Security. Just like the US government regularly makes changes to the tax code, it also regularly makes changes to Social Security benefits. Most of the time, this means cutting benefits. For example, the number of years included in the earnings average estimate for AIME was gradually increased from 23 years for Americans born in 1917 to 35 years for Americans retiring in 2018. So, for example, if you went to graduate school and did not have earnings, if you retired early, if you worked overseas, you may have a lot of zeros and might be able to average a full 35 years, and this would be a pretty significant cut to your retirement benefits. Another cut to retirement benefits has been the gradual increase in the retirement age from 65 for those born in 1937 or before to 67 for those born in 1960 or later. Also, Social Security benefits were not previously taxed before 1983. Now we have the taxation of benefits either at 50 or 85% based on your other sources of income. The last trustees report estimated that the Social Security Old Age Survivors and Disability Insurance Fund would be depleted sometime between 2033 and 2035, so the Social Security Administration is considering further cuts in benefits. Considerations on the table include increasing the retirement age from 67 to 70, further increasing the average number of years from 35 to 38 or 40, increasing the percentage of Social Security benefits that are subject to income taxes, maybe up to 100%, and also making the PIA formula even more complicated and giving you less and less credit for your earnings, maybe reducing the first bin point from 32 to 30 and either adding another one of 10% or 5% or cutting the 15% to 10%. Another change that has been made multiple times in Social Security benefits is a stealth change involving changing the way the Consumer Price Index or inflation is calculated. Each time this is done, the inflation rate is effectively cut. So if you are receiving Social Security, then as each year passes, the actual buying power of your Social Security benefits goes down. This is a graph by some economists that work for Shadow Stats, and it shows the difference between inflation using estimates that were in effect pre the early 1980s versus today. Shadow Stats estimates that the current inflation rate would be actually somewhere between 5 and 10, around 7, whereas the US government says it's officially around 0. These changes include things like, rather than looking at the price increase of items like steak or hamburger, they look at a basket of goods calculation. If steak goes up in price, they just assume you change to hamburger and therefore there is no inflation. They also put in things like hedonic corrections. If this year's car is more expensive than last year's car, but it is a quote better car, the price really hasn't gone up. All these kinds of inflations have drastically lowered and perhaps underestimated the inflation rate and therefore cut benefits to Social Security recipients. If you want to know more about how to maximize your after-tax Social Security benefits during your retirement, I suggest you contact your FEFA retirement strategist. That can be done at fefa.org, by sending a general email to info@fefa.org, or by contacting me personally at kcundiff@fefa.org. If you would like to read more on this topic, I have an article on the Social Security system at Mises.org. The government itself has multiple different articles on both the history and taxation of Social Security at ssa.gov, and I also have a personal YouTube channel. You can just search under my name, Kirby Cundiff, at youtube.com. I thank you for watching this video.